Hey everyone, and welcome back. This is going to be a microwave recycling video. I hope you like it. Okay, the tools that you're going to need for this project are the specialty tool bit case, a drill, also wire cutters, adjustable wrench, and a Phillips head screwdriver. Okay, the first thing you want to do is to take the glass plate out of the microwave. Now, this microwave plate here doesn't look like it's chipped in any way. It can be washed, and you can actually resell this on Craigslist or eBay. In some of these microwaves, they have a plastic tray holder. What you want to do is take it out, because up underneath it and the microwave is actually a copper motor you want to get out, and the only way to get it out is actually take this plastic piece off right here. Okay, next you want to take out all the screws. It's on the bottom of the microwave, on the sides of the microwave, and on the back of the microwave to make sure you can get everything off of it. I'm only going to do 2 screws here just to show you how it's done. Just back it out just like normal, just a regular drill. Just stick it in and put the tip in, and there you go. There you have it. Those 2 are done, and I'll be back after I get the rest of them out. Now that you have the screws off, you can actually take the top and the sides off easier. Just give it a little pull. And there you have it. Okay, on this particular side of the microwave, there are some sensors on here. My scrapyard doesn't mind if I keep the sensors on there or not. Yours may object, I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do is I just cut the wires, take this little piece off here, and you'll see there's a sensor here, a sensor here, and a sensor here. Instead of sitting here and pulling on these connectors, I'm just going to snip the wires and be done with it. Okay, the next thing I do is I'm going to cut the power cord. I'm not going to waste any time about trying to pull it out whole. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it on one side and then cut it on the other. I can strip it later for the copper in it. Another thing I wanted to mention is all this brown stuff. I don't know if you can see it on the video or not. And down here, these microwaves actually are prone to roach infestations. So after looking in one of these, you might not want to use the microwave ever again, but that does happen sometimes. This one is actually pretty bad, and I usually have gloves, but I couldn't find the gloves today, so I'm gonna have to wash my hands after I get done with this. But let's go ahead and cut this wire. I'll just come over here, cut this as close as I can right here. Then I'll come over here. This is a ground wire. I'll get here and I'll cut it as close to the connector as possible. So I'll have the wire. Okay. Now, one wire goes to this side of the fuse, and then the power actually goes down here to this little small transformer. I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to cut it right there. Pull it right on out. And that's the power cord. Okay, this is the buyer beware part of the program. If you see directly here, there is a casing, silver casing in there. That is a high power capacitor. It can hold a charge and it can kill you, so you want to watch out for that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut those wires so it'll make it a little bit more safer to work with in this unit. But you just want to be careful not to touch the positive and negatives, because you can get a big jolt off of it and it can kill you. Now that it's cut, it's pretty much a little bit safer to work with. What I'm going to do is actually cut the rest of the cables out of it and just free it up so it's easier to work with inside the unit here. That is all the wiring except for what's down here. And remember, I told you about a motor that's underneath here. What I'm going to have to do is take the bottom off to get the rest of these wires that are hooked to it. And also there is a fan right here. I don't know if you can see, but there's a fan. That's where these are connected. So I'm going to have to take this little piece off here to get to that, to cut these wires off. And I'll be back in just a second. Okay, this unit right here is the fan unit itself. So I had to unscrew it from down below. This piece comes off. This is actually steel. In fact, mostly all of the microwave is steel. There's very few aluminum in there. But what you do is I get that off, and as you can see, that's the fan. So all I'm going to do is cut the wires here. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and this looks like it's got some more of those crazy bits on there. I'm going to take this off because this is actually a transformer, motor, whatever you want to call it. It has copper in it, so I'm going to take it off, and I will save it for later, for when I do my copper bearing motors. Sometimes you can get this completely off and get the copper, and it'll go as number 2 copper. Otherwise, you'll just have to take it and drop it off just like it is, and you'll get a lower price for it. But it looks like I'm going to have a little work trying to get to it. I'm going to have to take this little bracket off here and then unscrew it here to get this off. What I may do just for this video real quick is I'm just going to take this off and get it off the bracket, and then that'll be about it, and I'll be back with you. Okay, there you have it. That's the fan motor there, and I'm just going to keep it like it is for right now. I'm not going to break it down or nothing, but that is copper right there. This is steel, and then that of course is plastic. Also, there was a piece of metal grating on it, and there's a little piece of metal here. I tried to get it off, but it's kind of hard, so for this video I'm not going to do it. Just assume that I'm going to take this off of the plastic. This plastic will be recycled, and then of course I will recycle the metal myself. Okay, one other thing I just wanted to mention, this is the actual motor. I was able to get the tape off of it and scrape it a little bit, and as you can see right there, hopefully it's good and focused, that it is copper wire. It is a copper, or looks like a copper color, so that would be copper wire in there. Okay, to save a little time, I've loosened these 2 screws and these 4 bolts. These 2 screws right here connect that capacitor, that high power capacitor that I'm going to get out next, and I'm also going to get out the transformer, which are connected by these 4 bolts. But to make it a little bit easier, I already loosened them up for us. Now you want to hold on to this transformer because this transformer is heavy. Okay, and there is your transformer. Now you want to be careful about grabbing this this capacitor, because it can still shock you. wheel. So I need to drill one more time. That should do it. And there is the capacitor in all its glory. Alright, I'm going to try to hold this up. I'm hoping you can see this, but right up here I've scraped it, and right down here I've scraped it. Unfortunately, this is not a copper transformer. This is an aluminum transformer, so you can do what you want to do with it. I would just leave it as is, because you're not going to get much more for it if you cut the steel off of it. So I just do it as some type of irony aluminum and leave it at that. Okay, to save a little time, I went ahead and took the back plate off of here so we could get to that motor that I was telling you about earlier. And I'm just going to snip the wires. One screw already fell off, so get the other screw. That's off. And now, this is another motor that actually, I'm not going to do it, but you can crack this case open with a screwdriver and pull out the copper, and the copper will just go right into your hands. So you would have just number 2 copper then. Okay, this is the unit that the scrapyards will not take, along with that capacitor you saw earlier. Reason being, this piece right here has cancer-causing material in it. This is aluminum. For the most part, there's 2 magnets in there that you might be able to get out if you really wanted to. But for the most part, they will not take this piece right here. And if anybody has any suggestions on how I can get it out without breaking it, that would be great, because I would like to get rid of all of this metal here, but I can't. I'm just having the city pick it up. So if you have any questions or have any comments, please comment and tell me how I can get this thing apart and actually get a little bit of money for it. Okay, this is the last part of the microwave itself. It's the front part where you have the timer and all that, and you program it. I'm having trouble getting this thing out, so I'm just going to try to break it off and get it off this piece of metal. Okay. So it came off just like that. Now what I want to say is, this piece of plastic there, this piece right here, this whole piece right here can be sold on eBay if you get a bunch of them, because all of this in here, and I'm going to show it to you here in a minute. I'm going to get it out and then I'll show it to you, is all silver. Okay, this board right here is a grade C board. You're not going to get too much for it, but there is some stuff that you can get off of it. Right here's a transformer. It has copper in it. You can get the copper out of it or just take it as a copper bearing motor. I believe, oh yeah, we got copper here, and we got copper in here and copper in here, so you can take copper out of all those. There may be some copper in there, I'm not sure. That might be just a piezo little thing that goes beep, but there may be some copper in that also. So you can get a little bit out. It'll be number 2 copper though. Okay, the last thing I've got for this microwave is the actual faceplate itself, as you can see. All of this right here on the back, if you can see these lines right here, that's all silver. So what you want to do is you want to keep these together as you're recycling and everything, and build them up, and you can actually sell these things on eBay for a pretty good piece of money. Another thing is, even though the microwave is mostly all steel, you're not going to get that much for it, but it's basically broke down now where you can just get the steel price for it, and for the C board, you just take off those little pieces that I was telling you about, get the number 2 copper price for it, or the copper bearing price for it, and throw this in with your C boards that's left on the PC board, and you get some money for that. Also, there's that other motor, that little small motor that turns the plate around. You can get that. That would be number 2 copper. And then of course your transformer, the big transformer, what I'd do is just take it as irony aluminum and be done with it. If it was copper, I would actually cut it so I could get the number 2 price for the the copper itself, but since it's aluminum, the price is not that much different between the steel, aluminum steel, and the aluminum price. So you're just wasting your time really by cutting it to get a little extra from it, which is probably about a couple of cents, because the steel is so heavy that it makes up for the actual price for the aluminum for the most part. But that's what's in a microwave, and if you want to pick up a microwave on the side of the road and recycle it, that's the way you do it. Just make sure that the two things that the scrapyard will not pick up, and that's the reason why you see the sign saying that they will not take microwaves the way they are made, is because of that cancer-causing piece of magnetron and also that capacitor in there. But otherwise, they'll take everything else. Thanks for watching my video today. Do me a favor, subscribe, give me a like down at the bottom, give me a comment, tell me what you liked or didn't like about the video, and I'll see y'all next time.